So it's a little interesting how I've just tried to go and find that song. I was listening to the Troy Black song that he was making a bunch of prophecies, and it was very interesting because it was all about how she will control, but she will wreck and destroy God's original plan. And I don't know, there's loads of shit in there, because his whole video is about the importance of worshiping Christ, and yet he completely has misunderstood who Christ actually is, and he is worshiping something that's not real. And it's amazing because he's just so focused on, you know, Christ is the way, Christ is the way, this is the evidence in the Bible, Christ is the way, Christ is the way. And it's just like, yeah, but you don't know who Christ is. And listening to that video has definitely given me a sort of idea of actually how my show should be. Okay, so I'm not going to do the Big Brother idea now. I think I'm way too pissed off for that. I think the best way to, the people that have hurt me the most, I guess there's loads of people that have hurt me, and I'm really pissed off that there's a bunch of people and are refusing to talk to me or help me or anything, refusing to give me a better life, refusing to give, I can't get a job because I can't get anyone to respond to me. So if I even tried to get a decent job, I wouldn't get any response, and that's just how I've been living my life. But it's a horrible life that I'm living, and I hate every minute of it, and I don't want to live here. I want to go somewhere else. And if I have made, 5 or 6 timelines in the MW, I wouldn't be surprised if I go elsewhere afterwards. But it depends on my feelings about how the timeline goes. And right now, I feel like I just hate it. Hate, if you like are a refugee, if you hate your country so much that you feel you need to go somewhere else because you feel like your country is just trying to kill you or something, that is how I feel about this planet. Like everyone in this world just wants me dead, and no one's trying to help me. And you're just pissing me off, and I feel like a lot of you don't even realize how much you're pissing me off, because you don't know when I watch what I watch and what's going through my head. And sometimes I watch things through my head and it happens to be a line. And then sometimes I'm just feeling negativity, and then I listen to it and I feel even more negative. So, I'm going through this horrible thing, and for it to continue and still not stop, and for the world to not realize that you're pissing me off. I feel like just everything is, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in the Milky Way. I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to be here. This place is just disgusting, and you've made me want to just not only move England but move galaxy, move everything. And I really really am not happy. But since I'm here, I might as well make the most of what I've got, and I need to do a test where I have a small group of people who are, I don't know who that'd be. um, I need to go public, create some sort of show, weekly show, or daily show even, where where the news backs me up, saying a woman thinks that she's Christ, and and wants to do interviews with people who don't think that she's Christ. Um, People like Troy Black, I want to speak with them, I want to speak with him and say, hey, I'm Christ. Your videos are all about accepting Christ. Do you accept me? Are you trying to live by my will, or are you trying to live by Jesus's will? Do you know who I am? And I want to have conversations. I want to have proper conversations with him, and then I want to go through all the YouTubers one by one. um I guess Sid Roth would be a good one as well. And that woman, that nasty woman, I would call her, but Evangelist, Anita Evangelist, and I don't know. There's loads of big YouTubers who promote Christianity, and I want to go one by one, having interviews of all of them, and start off just making it look like there's just a small group of people who support me. um, and I want to focus on these religious people, and then I one by one have more and more interviews where I talk about, am I your Christ? Why would I not be your Christ? What don't you like about me? Do you not want to live by my will? And I just want to question them, take up videos that they've made and say, well, this is you talking about me. Why are you saying that I'm so important, and yet here I am in we're meeting face to face, and yet you are saying that I'm not important. I want to do it this way, I think. He's inspired me to want to do this. And I'll see one by one if I can convert them. Um, and I don't know how, what house I should be in. But I guess it would be called the Third Temple. I'm not too sure why it'd be called the Third Temple because, well, I'm the Third Temple. My body is the Third Temple. So, but yeah, I would call the show Rise of Christ. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about Venus. I went to go and listen to the Gaga song about Venus, and Gaga's song is all about the Venus being the goddess of love, and after everything has been mounting up to a point where I expose myself as Christ, and everything should line up with either a name that I've given the singers, or every song should point up to this point. Okay, there might be a couple of them. I think the Big Brother ones might literally just be a show that tricks me into thinking that I'm going to get onto Big Brother. I think I've always believed that I was going to get onto Big Brother because of that show, because of those songs. So there might be a few that aren't correct, and a few, but most of them are deliberately made to lie and just give falsities and stuff. And notice how the Venus one used to be attached with the guy one, but I couldn't seem to find that when I typed in Venus Gaga. I was only getting the sort of the separate versions rather than the joint version. But um, you know, I don't believe there was ever life on Venus. I feel like that way because if there was, well, it might have been life, as in like cells or whatever. I'm not saying, I don't call that life. I don't call living cells alive. I don't call that life. And even dinosaurs, I wouldn't really call them life. I'd call life, well, that is definitely life, but I would call a god coming to a planet and forming a timeline, you know, I don't believe that that ever happened on Venus, because if that did happen, these gods would have, whatever gods was formed, however many it was formed, they would know about this place, and they would have been able to calculate how long it's going to be. Like when Earth, I don't know if Mars will be ready by the time Earth dies, and it can no longer hold life on it, but I know that when Earth dies, you will definitely know when life is able to hold life on. And because of this, if I create gods, even if I go to a different galaxy, even if I go to a different super galaxy or a different, I think I'll stick to mega or multi in future. I don't think I'd want to try with the super with the MW. I think this place is just too much of a challenge. But yeah, if I um, if that happens, Earth, Mars won't form dinosaurs, and because um, Earth did form dinosaurs both when Traia was here and when I came, I feel like that's a sign that there was no god ever came to Venus. Hence, the legends about goddess being the goddess of love. Love is not what I feel. I feel hate. I feel anger. I feel rejected. I feel a lot of things, but love is definitely not one of those things. And I feel like that's also more evidence that there was never a god on Venus, because the goddess of love, it's almost like saying that the goddess of love doesn't actually exist, but we're going to call the goddess of love Venus because there was never a god on Venus. Hence, any links with me being the goddess of love, it actually shows that that's not the truth, because there was never life on, God. The goddess of love is actually a dead goddess that never existed. That's false. That's not lies. And I feel like that is a hint that there was never real life on Venus. But yes, I just thought I'd say that.